Alright, today we're working with something completely new. We're working with exponents. Exponents are pretty easy. All you have to do is look at this right here. There's two different parts of an exponent. You're going to have the base, which is the whole number, the bigger number, and you're going to have an exponent, which is the little number to the top right hand corner of the base. The base is the number that's going to be multiplied. The exponent, all it does is tell you how many times you multiply the base by itself. So right here I have 3 to the second power. 3 to the second power, or 3 exponent 2, all that means is 3 times 3. So you take the base, and the base is going to be the number that you're multiplying every time. So it's the base, and you multiply it as many times as the exponent. So you see it's 3 times 3. It's not 3 times 2. This is not saying 3 times 2. It's saying 3 times 3. If it was 3 to the third power, it would be 3 times 3 times 3. This number right here, the exponent, tells you how many times you're going to multiply this number by itself. Example here, 4 to the third power means 4 times 4 times 4. So we're multiplying it 3 times. 7 to the sixth power is 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. You can see where I counted them off here. We're multiplying 7 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what that means. You'll hear when you see something to the second power, it's considered squared. And the reason that being is because if you draw it out, it looks like a square. So a square is going to have all sides equal length. So if you're trying to find the area of a square, it's going to be 6 times 6. A cube, the same thing. Any number to the third power is going to be considered cubed, because if you do a 6 times 6 by 6 cube, it turns out like this. Alright, there's one little trick to it. If you're working with zeros, however many you have as the exponent, you can just add that many zeros. So 10 to the second power is going to have 2 zeros. Because exponent's 2, you have 2 zeros. 10 to the fifth power, 5 zeros. So you're going to put your 1 and however many zeros is the exponent. So 10 to the seventh power is 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 10 million. 10 to the seventh power is 10 million, which is very easy because all I had to do was write my 1, and then there's going to be 7 zeros with it. This works backwards as well. So if you see 3 times 3 times 3, that means 3 to the third. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 will be 4 to the fifth. So if I see 6 times 6, that's 6 to the second. If I see 4 times 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 4, that's going to be 4 to the what power? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this right here will be 4 to the 8th power. Going to write out a few example problems for you. So 3 to the 4th power will be your first one. So you're going to write it out as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and then you're going to work this out and find the answer. For number 2, it's going to be 7 to the third power. Same thing, you'll write it out like this and then find the answer. For number 3, you have 4 times 4 times 4, so I want you writing it in this form and then find the answer as well. And then for number 4, 6 to the third power, same thing. You'll write it in long form and then find the answer to that as well. So at this time, pause your video and work these out. Alright, you should have worked these out by now. So for this one, I gave you the way to write it out long ways. It's 3 to the 4th, so that means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. times 3 is 27 times 3. So 27 times 3, 7 times 3 is 21. So we get 81. So 3 to the 4th power equals 81. Alright, I've got 7 to the 3rd power, so 7 times 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Come over here, we've still got to multiply it again. 49 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63. Let me erase that, I made a little mistake there. So 63, my 3 there, my 6 up here. 7 times 6 is 28, plus 6 is going to be 34, so 4 and 3. So my answer here is 343 for number 2. For number 3, I have 4 times 4 times 4, so I've got to write it in exponent form. So that's going to be 4 to the 3rd power, and then I can go ahead and work it out. 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 again. 4, carry my 2, be 64. So if I have to write it in exponent form, that's my answer. If I want to find the actual answer of the problem, 64 would be there. So this one, I'm going to write it out. 6 to the 3rd power means 6 times 6 times 6. And then I can find the value of it. 6 times 6 is 36 times 6. So 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 carry my 3 would be, and then 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 would be 21. So 216. So really not a whole lot to do with this. There's 2 different ways to do it. You're either going to see it in this form here, and it's going to either tell you to write it in long form, which would be here, or write it in long form and find the value. So the value of this is going to be 81. Long form is here, exponents here. So you've got 2 different IXL lessons. You're going to deal with working from this to this, and then you're going to work on dealing from the longer form into the exponent form. It may ask you to answer the value on some of them, and some of them it just may want you to write them in the different forms. So that's what you'll be doing today. Good luck. Get started.